Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're gonna be learning the big spin frontside board side on a rail, and this trick is crazy fun, okay? This is gonna be one of the first tricks where you actually flip or spin your board into a rail. It's a crazy sensation. This trick all comes down to confidence and having your fundamentals down. So make sure that you can front board, make sure that you can front board fakie, and make sure that you have big spins really, really good, okay? If you have all these tricks, you're ready to try the big spin front board. When it comes to foot set, I like to put my feet just like a big spin, okay? And when you set up like a big spin, it's very similar to a 360 flip, except for I like to put my front foot a little bit higher up on the board because that gives me more control when I catch the board and put it on the rail, okay? Now, after you have your feet all situated, the next huge factor in this trick is your distance from the rail, okay? So I like to come as parallel as possible, okay? I take maybe a bitty angle, but it's pretty much parallel, okay? And another thing about the big spin front board is this trick tends to drift a lot. Since you're throwing your shoulders into it and you're big spinning, you tend to drift. So I like to come kind of far away from the rail, okay? I don't get very close to the rail. I get really far away, so when I drift that big spin, I can land right in the middle of my board. To this day, that's one of my biggest problems. Every time I go, I kind of land a little bit more towards my truck, and my truck will kind of hit and catch the rail. So it's really important to find that perfect distance so you can land right smack dab in the middle of the rail with your board, and that'll give you a clean slide, okay? Now, with this trick, the curve is your friend, okay? This trick is all about confidence. This trick is terrifying, okay? So what's gonna build your confidence is doing all of these steps that I tell you on a curb, okay? You wanna do a curb that's unwaxed so that you can just practice spinning into the curb and you don't like slip out and like fall on the rail. And trust me, you can still fall on the curb, but it reduces the risk of injury. So go find yourself a nice curb. You want grass or gravel on the other side so that when you spin into it, your trucks kind of go over. So find yourself a curb and get it down on the curb first before you take it to the rail. All right, so I would say the number one thing with this trick that I see that goes wrong is people kind of do a pop shove it, they catch it, and then they try to turn onto the rail or ledge or parking block or whatever. I'm just gonna say rail. And that's a recipe for disaster, because if you do a pop shove it and catch it and turn it, it's probably gonna flip on you. You're probably not getting a nice scoop. So I like to think that there's no rail. I pretend that there's no rail, and once I find my distance, I just do a backside big spin, and the rail gets in the way. And when you let the rail just get in the way of your big spin, it doesn't inhibit your big spin, and you get that nice scoop, and the board just sucks around, and you catch it, and you have that backwards momentum, and you land right on the rail nice and fluidly, and then you land it, okay? But if you try to think big spin, then rail, it's all gonna go bad. Pretend there's no rail and just do a nice fluid big spin. Don't even let yourself think there's a rail in the way, and you do a nice fluid big spin and you'll land right in the middle, and it'll feel really clean and fluid, and that's how you know you did it right, okay? The next thing I wanna mention with this trick is, like I always say, don't fight what your body naturally wants to do, okay? So if you're coming out to regular, don't fight it, okay? Just go with it. But if you're coming out to fakie, then go with that. With that said, big spin front board to fakie is much easier because it doesn't inhibit the motion of your shoulders. Because when you do a big spin, you really want to flow your shoulders into it and get that nice half moon scoop where you scoop it around, okay? And when you just pretend there's no rail, you're probably gonna land and go to fakie. So I recommend trying it to fakie. So once you have your distance right and you pretend that there's no rail in the way, it just comes down to confidence. So like I said, the curb is your best friend. Make sure that you can scoop into the curb every time, and then you're ready to try it on the rail. Like I always say, just grind a little bit of the rail, okay? Just slide a little bit of it. The more of the rail you do, it increases the chances of you falling on the rail. And once you get it down, you can do the whole rail if you want to, but just try to big spin and just tap the end of the rail, pretend the rail isn't there. And this is the first trick you're gonna try where you get that sensation where your feet just leave your board, and it's a crazy, scary sensation. So take your time with it. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really, really helps my videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.